Hey, welcome back to the Soul Pod. This is Stacy. This video is for anyone who's ever felt like they're hiding who they are, who doesn't feel like they're being their true authentic self. If you've ever felt like you're hiding what you love, how you feel, who you truly are, just to get by because you think that's what's expected of you, yeah, this is going to be helpful. What got me thinking about this is a quote from Dr. Gad Saad. He said, "It is perhaps no surprise that authenticity is correlated with life satisfaction and well being." Life satisfaction and well being. Think about that, all just from being authentic. And it's strange, but a lot of us are hiding in plain sight. So let's dive in. So, what is authenticity? I mean, many of us don't know what that means. Some people think authenticity means going ahead and saying the stuff that's in your mind all the time. Not necessarily, because sometimes the stuff in our mind isn't necessarily worth sharing, especially if it's mean thoughts. But what it's really about is living in a way that matches your true authentic self, who you are inside, not chasing someone else's script, but living your script, living your true self. You ever struggle with that? I have. Maybe you're into something that's different. Maybe you're a gamer and gaming's not cool. I don't know. Maybe you've got a hobby that you don't share, you don't talk about. Maybe there's something that you love that you don't tell other people about because you don't want to be judged for it. You don't want them to think you're weird. Uh, your friend group isn't into what you're into, so you hide in plain sight. That's inauthentic, and it matters. We'll get into why in a second. A 2019 study showed that people who reported that they felt they were authentic, truly authentic, had a 30% higher level of satisfaction in their lives. 30% higher level of satisfaction they reported. Do you feel satisfied? Do you feel like you're living authentically? If not, this could improve your satisfaction rate by 30%. Think about this for a moment, though. So, if you are reporting that you are authentic and you feel more satisfied because of it, at least about a third more satisfied than the average person, that's a great thing. But flip it. I want you to flip it for a second. Consider this. If you're not doing that, if you're not living an authentic life, if you don't feel like you are, even just self reporting, I don't feel like I'm living an authentic life, which a lot of studies show most people do feel that way, like they don't feel like they're being authentic. If you're doing that, you're at least 30% less satisfied with your life. Do you want to be more satisfied with your life? We're going to dive into how to go about doing that right now. You see, Dr. Gad Saad, he's an evolutionary psychologist. He studies how our brains work. He studies how we're wired and how we work and why we work that way. And he says his study has shown, his research has shown that we're actually wired to fit in, to fit in with the group, to do what we need to do to get by. And he said that we're wired that way because it keeps us safe. Now, this goes way back. I talk a lot about psychology and a lot about personal or physical evolution of the human mind and the human body and the human psyche. And it's fascinating to me because what's interesting is we are the same creatures we were at least 200,000 years ago in terms of brain pan size, psychological capabilities. If you were to take someone 200,000 years ago and give them all the technology we have now, we could teach them to do the same things we do now. They would understand it. They just didn't have the technology then. But the downside to this is we are the same person as cavemen were in terms of our brains, right? Homo sapiens, our capabilities. But we're also still carrying a lot of that stuff left over. The fit in thing is a really big part of this. When it came to being a tribe meant survival. You worked together as a group. Fitting in really mattered. That cohesiveness was a big deal. Now we're scattered all over the place. Many of us are a tribe unto ourselves or a tribe unto, a small group of friends, perhaps. Some of us larger, some of us smaller. But there's still that intuition, that reflex to fit in. I want to throw out the word intuition there because that's the wrong word. But there is that reflex, and it is a survival instinct. The thing is, we don't need it now. We don't need it to survive. We don't have, that need to create this cohesive small tribe of people to be with, to feel safe. But we still do. We still do. We think about your friend group. Your friend group is perhaps a group of like-minded people. And when we kind of go against the grain with them, we feel a little put out. We feel like we're a little bit rejected from the group. It is a brave thing to stand up, but that manifests itself in really small ways. Sometimes it's just us not being authentic in little things, like owning our true selves out loud. And that's a big damn deal. So we get stuck, right? How do you get unstuck, though? It takes a daily practice. Researcher and author Brene Brown said that authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we're supposed to be and embracing who we truly are. Embracing who we truly are. And the thing that stands out here, and you should pay attention to, is the daily practice. It is a daily practice of simply pushing that edge of our discomfort and allowing ourselves to be more authentic. It's not a magic wand we wave and suddenly we're authentic. It is a daily practice. We have to step into that discomfort just a little bit. And as we do that, we become more comfortable with that reality that we're giving to the world, that truth we're sharing about ourselves. Now, this doesn't mean you have to make some massive announcement to the world that this is who I am. It's a matter of just being a little more authentic each day. When you do this, you find more self-confidence, more peace, and just overall a higher level of personal strength. Don't we all want a little of that? In the end, what we're getting is a life that really makes us feel better deep down inside. Let me tell you a story about me where I faced this. So years ago, I've always written. I've always been a writer. I write. I've always written. And for years I told people, yeah, I write. Yeah, I write. Yeah, I write. And then more than a decade ago, I wrote a book, self-published. Wrote a book, put it out there. People were like, oh, that's cool. Sold copies and everything, right? And I told people, oh yeah, I write. But I couldn't say I'm a writer. That felt disingenuous for some reason. In my mind, being a writer meant you can't say you're a writer if you don't make your living as a writer. You know, you can make money at it, but you're not making a living at it. You can't call yourself a writer. It felt like I was BSing the world or something, but I wasn't. I was BSing myself. So then later, I published a chapter in a book that was published by a regular publisher, not self-published. I still struggled with that, saying I'm a writer. I've been published by a publisher, and I still can't say it because of this weird fear, this discomfort, this, what if people think it's weird that I would say I'm a writer? I don't make my living as a writer. And then I wrote and published a book with that same publisher, an entire book, and it sold copies. Like, it actually sold copies. And it's then that I finally made that shift. What I want to tell you is don't wait. Don't wait until you prove to yourself that you are what you think you are. Say that you are what you know you are. Are you a writer? Are you an artist? Are you a DJ? Are you a podcaster? Do you have a video channel? Are you a video podcaster? Just say it. And there's a good reason why. Because your words set up your actions. Your actions follow your words because your words are your belief. Your words are your roadmap. That's how Brene Brown's daily practice works. It's about owning your truth, owning the truth of who you know you are, but maybe you're not saying out loud. There's something really powerful about just saying it out loud, even if it's just casual. You know it's true. Why aren't you saying it? Why aren't you living it? There's power in that. And Gad Saad said, it's not like a moment's buzz. It's living your true life. It builds a happier life. It's a small thing that takes you in the direction that your heart wants to go, in the direction that you are, instead of holding yourself back from who you are. I self-published. I wrote a chapter. I published a book. Slow snowballs, right? Little snowballs that built and built and built. And what did they lead to? More joy. I'm a writer. I'm a podcaster. I'm a video guy. What are you? What are you? Think about that. What is it that you're hiding, that you're not sharing with the world, that you're not sharing with yourself, that you're not owning completely? Own that. So the Gad Saad quote, it stuck with me. It stuck with me because it's true. It's true. It resonates on so many levels. It's authentic and it unlocks a more joyful life. It's a very good thing. And Brown's practice, it's how you do it. It's letting go. It's bit by bit building towards who you want to be, who you know you already are, but you're afraid to lean into for whatever reason. Now you don't need to do this all at once. You don't have to dive in with both feet and you know, like I said, it's just living into it a little bit every day, just being true to yourself, saying it out loud from time to time. What is that passion that you've been keeping quiet? What's that thing that makes you you, that you know makes you you, that makes you more joyful knowing it's true, but you're afraid to say? One final quote, and this one's from Carl Rogers. Carl Rogers said that the curious paradox is that when I accept myself as I am, then I can change. It's only when we accept ourselves as we are, and we admit it to ourselves. And something about saying it out loud or writing it down has this power that we didn't really recognize before. Once you accept yourself as you are, then you can change. And a lot of us aren't accepting who we are because we're busy hiding in plain sight. Stop hiding in plain sight. Stop hiding from yourself. Write it down. Is there something that you've been hiding from yourself, that you've been keeping from others? Maybe you know, but they don't. Leave me a note in the show notes. Tell me what it is you're hiding. Say it out loud for the rest of the world to see. As soon as you write it down, and especially somewhere as public as that, well, that's when you start to own it. If this resonates with you and you're ready to proclaim it, tell me who you are. Are you a writer? Are you an artist? Are you a flute player? Are you a guitar player? Are you just an amazing human being and you're not leaning into it? Put it in the show notes. Leave me a note. I want to hear about your growth. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching my channel. If you haven't checked out the Soul Podcast yet, check it out. I think you'll like it. Season 4 is just about to drop in just a couple weeks. If you're watching this video, it may have already dropped. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you on the next video.